TOP. We are live. YouTube, what's going on? Let me go live on my IG at this time. Uh-oh, hold up. Let me see what's going on. Oh, hold up. Why is it still playing the music? Boom. Bam. We live with it. Boom. Let me set it up here real quick. Boom. Bam. There we go. Okay. Time to have the conversation. It's time to have the conversation, right? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Mimi, what's going on? What's going on, Mimi? Live on the YouTube right now. Got the Instagram popping on the back end. Got to get into this Ain't No Money in Poetry thing real quick. Oh, are we live on the YouTube too? Who we got? Who is that? Announce yourself. No, you good. Hey, I'm gonna be very, very fast, y'all. I'm gonna be very, very, very fast with this live. Very fast. What's going on, Wisdom? Very fast with this live, y'all. Real quick, Ain't No Money in Poetry. I hope you've been paying attention to the series. It's been going on for about 4 weeks now. We've covered a few things. These are very quick lives, 10, 15 minutes in, out. That's it. And we've been addressing 3 types of people who say there's ain't no money in poetry, and that is broke poets, that is whack poets, and that is sometimes poets. And I'm here to report today that all those things that they say are myths, and they actually hold our entire industry back and hold our individual mindsets back as well. I also want to say something that I uncovered in this, just having these conversations back and forth. And that is that not all poets and spoken word artists are built to be super successful. And I know it's kind of like hard to hear and hard to, say or whatever, but I know it's hard to hear because it's hard to say. And I say that because, I was talking to my dog Milk earlier, and I was like, man, there's a few poets, a few spoken word artists who really get it, who really out here trying to make something for themselves, who really have a brand that they want to push and get out there, and they have a mission and they have a message and they have, a family and they have generational wealth to think about, but a lot of them don't. They just in it for the shits and giggles, for the snaps. They in it for whatever they can get out of it, and they realize they can't get much out of it. And because they can't get much out of it, they say there ain't no money in poetry. And that rhetoric is dragging the entire industry down. And that's why we're doing this live stream series. I've had a good time. This is, like I said, the finale. We've talked for 3 weeks about broke poets, whack poets, and sometimes poets. But as I reach this last week, I feel like we got to keep having the conversations. I feel like I need to keep dropping gems and just dropping little nuggets of different, ways of how I'm monetizing my spoken word and poetry, and how I've created systems and templates and just all kinds of things that are just super beneficial and super. They debunk that theory that there isn't no money in poetry, because I've done it in 8 or 9 or 10 different ways by now, and yeah. So just to do a quick recap of what those 3 weeks were. So we talked about broke poets and that mindset, and what we really boiled down to was creating a system. You need to create a system around what you are doing. I don't care if it's spoken word poetry, events, it doesn't matter what it is. You need to have it documented, the beginning of that process to the very end of that process, meaning when it comes out of your mind, you write it down and you expand on that system, and all the way to when the customer purchases it or receives or consumes whatever it is that you're providing. You need to create a system that you have on paper. Period. Secondly, we talked about whack poets. So to combat that, you need to surround yourself with dope poets. I'm very, very privileged to say that at the very beginning of my journey, I was surrounded by monsters. You know what I'm saying? All of us was dope, and so I had no choice but to be great and to keep pushing and to keep going. And, it's people that y'all don't even know, but my dog Fingers, my man Queens, my man Champ, Green, Dez, Carmen, Dominique, Megan, You know, and then I had Durham, North Carolina, all the slammers over there, Zach Corsi, G. Yamazawa, Kane Schmigo, Desana Hanu, Elliot Exum. Then you got Charlotte, you got Blues, CP Mays, Ed Mabry, you know, you had Teresa Davis coming through all the time. You had all of these amazing artists that I had around me that forced me to be dope. So I had no choice but to keep pushing my pen. And that's what you need to do. You need to surround yourself not only with talented artists, because as we talked about in Whack Poets, it's not just about being talented on stage. Are you a talented person? Are you talented off stage? That's really what we want to get into. You feel me? And so when you're surrounding yourself with dope poets, surrounding yourself with dope people as well, you feel me? It's just very, very important. And then the third week we talked about sometimes poets, and what we learned from that is that you need to stay consistent and you need to stay intentional. You need to stay consistent and you need to stay intentional. Now, the first one is a little bit easier than the second one because the second one, you kind of fall into a lot of the art. A lot of our artistry is influenced by our life. You can be intentional in your life, you know, but the outcomes and the experiences that you have, you just kind of got to take that as it comes, and then you observe that and you create art, right? But the consistency, that's something you can do no matter what. And consistency looks different for different people, but I want you to be honest about yourself, honest with yourself when you appraise your consistency with keeping up with your art as far as your craft, not just on the artistic side, but on the business and the administrative side. You know what I'm saying? The admin side is so, so important, y'all. And yeah, man, I hope y'all go back and look at those weeks. Like I said, I'll be very, very brief. Real quick though, before I go, this is important. I want to do a call to action or something right now. We have an opportunity. Like, fuck the dumb shit. Like, we got an opportunity. And it's time for spoken word artists and poets to really step up to the plate, because we are really about to change. We know what, not we about to. We are changing the game. Spoken word poets are changing the game. Spoken word poets are changing the game. And I need y'all to understand this. Like, there is a gold rush for art, and we are in the mecca of that renaissance, especially if you're here in Atlanta, because it's so important for us to understand that, oh my God. Like, imagine if Langston Hughes, Claude McKay, Zora Neale Hurston, what's all of them? All of them. I can't think of everybody. I'm not on my book shit right now. But imagine if they realized that there was the Harlem Renaissance. All the people I just named were in the Harlem Renaissance. Imagine if they realized while the Harlem Renaissance was the Harlem Renaissance, that it was the Harlem Renaissance. That's what we're in right now. We are the Langston Hughes and the Zora Neale Hurstons of this time, and it's our time. Like, it is like, it is everywhere. And you know, it's you would think it's kind of things like an algorithm thing. Like, well, that's because that's all I see. You know, only people I'm following is literally just spoken word poets and, you know, people with spoken word adjacent. You know, so you would think no, this is a reality. Like, it is a whole world. The only difference is just the world doesn't understand how impactful it is going to be to them. But it's coming, y'all. It's happening right now in front of our eyes, and we have to take advantage of this opportunity before somebody comes in and poaches on our culture and capitalize on what we could have been capitalized on, you know. And I'm doing it regardless, but I understand that I can go fast alone, but I can go further together. You know, like I and that's why I say, you know, I know this message ain't for everybody, but it's for those couple of spoken word artists who really take this shit serious. And you know who you are. You know who you are. You take yourself serious when it comes to spoken word, poetry, artistic shit, events, and you are really, really about getting your bag. And so like I said, I want to do a call to action for us to elevate right now. We need to elevate, and I'm concluding myself in this mix. We need to elevate our mindsets. We need to elevate our pockets. And we need to elevate our commitment level. Those three things need to happen. I don't know why I'm getting, I think it's all the Scorpio in me. I'm getting emotional. I've been getting emotional lately, man. Anyway, because it's so real, man. We got to elevate our mindsets, our pockets, and our commitment level, man. Like, it's our chance. Like, we're here. It's right here. And I am a living testimony. Like, I am doing this shit every single day. I've been putting in the work every single day, and I'm seeing the results. I just had a student in my POTS Alpha performance training program graduate last night. And it was fucking amazing. Like, killed it. Like, she's doing the work. Y'all have to do the work. And this has nothing to do with the POTS Alpha right now. You're like, yeah, that's important, but I just want y'all to commit yourselves, even if, because I want you to understand, even if you don't work with me on anything, take what I'm saying for yourself and go on your own journey. What I'm saying is go on the journey. Don't avoid the freaking journey, bro. Like, and don't avoid the work. The journey is in the work, but a lot of us are putting it off, and we're using this broke mindset, this whack mindset, and this sometimes mindset to get in the way of that. And we know we're not around the right people. We know we don't have our system in place. We know we're not consistent and intentional. And we have an opportunity to do that. That's why God put us here. We have free will for a reason. You have the opportunity to be great. That's why greatness feels so good, because the person who achieves greatness chose it every day. They chose greatness every day and got it. You have to choose greatness. So this is a call to action to elevate. I'm gonna give you a prime example. One ways I'm elevating. I'm not just saying I'm going to elevate. Like, I have plans and actionable steps in place to elevate. And one of those ways I'm going to elevate is to elevate my feature game. Like, I'll need to put my events in a position where I can fly poets, spoken word artists out from wherever they at. And that's not included in the expense of the feature. Like, my goal is to fully take care of the people that, you know what I'm saying, I think are awesome and deserve to be on my platform. And if I think they're awesome, then I need to make sure they have an awesome experience. You know, at this time, the way my features work right now, and I'll give you all the numbers, I don't care, because they're going to change very shortly. When I bring somebody for a feature for the Moan Room, for example, it's $100 to feature, plus it's a $50 bar food tab. Also, you get a section. Also, you can bring a couple of friends with you. And this is a new thing that I've actually added to all my features, not just the Moan Room, but the Moan Room, House of Crowns. If we add my features to Mike's and Mingle and some of the one-off shows that I do, now I'm adding, if you feature at my event, you are now exclusively invited to my event for life, for free. If you feature at my show, you have a lifetime ticket, a lifetime membership to that show after that. Because I feel like we need to elevate our game. We need to start treating each other the way we want to be treated, you know? And like, granted, it's so funny, man. I had a little experience. I want to ask this question, and I'm gonna end the live here because we're already at 13 minutes and 18 seconds. I'm gonna end the live right here. I want to ask this question. What does it? Thanks for the benevolent spirit in you. Appreciate it, family. Appreciate it. Red Storm. I see it say Red Storm, but wait, is Red Storm in here? No, Red Storm not in here. Love that. Appreciate you, family. Appreciate it. Yeah, I want to end with here. Can you afford you? That's the ending question. Can you afford you? Just think about that for a second. Can you afford you? A lot of us want to be making a certain amount of money when it comes to how much we get paid for our gigs. And I want to beget the question, because I actually have to ask myself this question. Can I afford the price that I charge people? Let's sit on that. Can you afford you? If somebody came to you and charged the price that you're charging, how would you feel? How would that make you feel? They said there ain't no money in poetry. But this poem ain't free. They be listening to it like an open receipt, but close their mind to a former starving artist just making ends meet. This poem ain't free. You see, we mask our feelings to hide who we truly killing with these artistic mediums. While fakers float on helium, we stay grounded in truth, the naked proof. I could turn you on using only the bare minimum. She looking at me like, ooh, girl, I'm really feeling him. I'm feeling you too, boo. But this poem ain't free. I mean, baby. Maybe when you take your mask off too, you'll see we're the same person. Maybe you'll see I'm worth it. Maybe you'll see I ain't got much, but everything I do got, I earned it. Maybe you'll see I'm a freak with these words, like when I told my queen to scratch her name in my back in cursive. It's been days since I wrote in cursive. My life is in print, so my name is always mentioned in newspaper verses. I'm gifted with purpose, so blessed I cursed my curses. This mask makes my demons nervous, cause I'm filled with so much darkness, but all you see is light on the surface. That's why when I make it rain, you might confuse my dancing with flirting. That's why this poem ain't free. Cause even though I hate capitalism, I gotta play the game like I wrote it. I hate sexism, cause gender roles aren't important. I hate racism, but all I see is coons and crackers on my porch with torches fighting for resources. If we ever finally have a family reunion, I'm going as the monkey's uncle, wearing Dunbar's mask, a light skin, smiling and jiving in front of bougie white faces. Call me Barack Obama's replacement. My queen cut out the eyes so I could see further, then I let my sons decorate it. I love movies, but The Master of Disguises is my favorite. Netflix, quarantine, and chill? Hell no! I'm too dramatic and charismatic enough. God got my life on her playlist. But of course she wouldn't say this. She don't boast about the highly favored. We are simply undercover angels. But don't be surprised when you see danger. Look at my vibrations. Colors bursting everywhere. I gain power from my rangers. This range is basic, but I'm chefing meals like I'm cooking for somebody famous. The enemy burns in my kitchen. My beef be Cajun. I'm making them sweat, and the massacre hasn't even started yet. Set. Go. Don't collect $200. I monopolize the pieces. You're the temple. I'm the starter jet. You better jet. My magazine's the best. This mass is a conscious threat. No. A massacre is more like 16 million babies aborted by neighbors who neigh like horses. Don't care who wrote it. Your cows are poison. Your pigs are losers. Your body's deformed into what you hated most. High fructose GMO and all because a scholar wrote it. Rose above the bullshit. Now I'm fertile and focused on sun rays that make these last days more potent. I'm pungent. I'm plunging your mind. Just import it to the shores of my island. I land in on a unicorn in a roadmap in the form of a poem leading you towards true freedom. Follow my lead. You want it. I got it. Just remember this poem wasn't